Yo, what is going on? Um, Ramble number 3. Um, Technically number 4. But the old third one is not for public viewing. Um, uh, yeah, maybe a little too personal, and uh, I've only sent that to a few people. So yeah, third time around. Gonna talk about some RuneScape. We are currently mining, so I finished Herb Tot. I finished a lot of the shitty Herblore stuff, which was my goal. And I've been mining for like 3 or 4 days. Um, yeah, so the rest of Herblore is just about 159 mil almost. I've got about 19 mil in the bank of herbs, and then I have like 150k caviar plus like 40 mil fishing left. Um, so what's that? 159 plus 160. That's like what, 180 mil from the 180, 168 mil, 78 mil from the herbs, and then the caviar, depending on how much I can actually use, is between like 5 and 12 mil or something. I probably need about like 15 mil more herb XP. I have, I don't know, like 5,000 seeds or something. Plus I'm still doing contracts, that should be like between 5 and 10 mil, and then yeah, depending on how many caviar I can get, otherwise I'll just do some more contracts or finish off with some mixology from Kingdom Herbs, and that's Herblore sorted. Which I'm happy with. So I did all the gay shit, like I did like, I don't know. I did mixology, it was, I only expected it to take like 2 weeks. But I got a little sidetracked. And it ended up taking like 5. Um, so I think the first problem was, so I made like 400k of each paste, which was how much blue paste I had. But then I realized you use like more blue paste and then green paste and then red paste, so the paste ratios were off. So then I ended up making a whole bunch more blue paste and a little bit more green, and then so I ended up doing more mixology than I anticipated. And 400k paste is like 90 hours worth or something. Yeah, so I ended up doing like 100, and then I got sidetracked. I think I had assignments due one week, so I played like 10 hours of Herblore that week. And then I had work was really busy during March. I was working over 50 hours a week, so like 50, 55 hours a week during that month. There were some days, I was wake up, get ready, go to work like 12, 13 hours, come home, and then like eat dinner and go to bed in like half an hour. So like, yeah, didn't really get much active shit done during those days. But that is over. Back to normal work hours now, which is nice. And on top of that, I was doing Guardians of the Rift because I wanted the pet, since it's a little bit of a 1-to-1 to do it anyway if you don't need multi-skilling, and I should have enough spare RC to get my multi-skilling. So I figured I may as well go for the Guardians of the Rift pet before 200 RC. I had about 4 mil Runecraft XP spare in Dale that I have banked when I got the pet. I think I was like a little bit over 100k essence. I think I was like 150k essence or something off. So yeah, like around 4 mil. So because I went like 1.5 times the rate on that pet. which is pretty annoying. But we got it in the end. I actually got it at the end of the last ramble, or the one that didn't get posted. I did like an hour or something, or an hour and a half of Guardians of the Rift or something, and then at the end during the pools I got the pet. But yeah, so that was pretty nice. Happy to be done. I did enjoy Guardians of the Rift. It was pretty fun. I did most of it with Saddest Cat, so shout out my goat. Speaking of my goats, to shout out Big Math. Make sure I remember. I've got it written down, but maybe we can get another one at the end. But yeah, I did most of my Guns Rift with Cat. And a lot of the time just played Clash of Clans, because that game, I haven't been playing it too much like in the last week and a half, because the fucking old school idle game. But I've been upkeeping my builds and shit and doing war attacks or whatever. But I don't know, Clash of Clans is like really fun on the PC. And it's like not that hard to play. Like during like the easier skills, like mostly I just would do my attacks during like herb runs, but they removed the attack cooldown, so the troops train instantly now. So you can just, I don't know, attack whenever. I did some quick maths based on like a 30-minute sample, so not very great. But I think it takes like 140 hours to max all of the walls to max level if you just spamming attacks. So I might just like do that during RC or something from board, or maybe like artifacts. But anyway, back on topic, herb lore. So I finished herb tot. Yes, I got the Guardians Rift pet, then finished off herb tot. I think in this session I ended up doing, I mean, what's 400k? I think it's like 15 mil or like 14 mil or something like that. Then I'd already done like 5 or 6 mil before, so I think I'd done like, yeah, low 20s mil herb tot total. And maybe doing more to finish the skill off based on the herbs and shit. And it's really just a fishing situation, because I don't know how many. I don't think I'll have enough mixes. And there's two main reasons for that. One is I made a lot of super combats, so I have like 25k super combats in the bank, and each super combat is worth 7.5 mixes. So that's like what, 175k ish, I think. Caviar or like mixes that I'm missing out on. And I thought it would kind of be fine, because I was always just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have enough super attacks, but somehow I don't. Um, I don't know where all like my potions went. Like the sheet says you're supposed to have like, um, I think it's like 200k, or is it, maybe it's 150k spare after the goggles, but obviously I used, well, I used probably only like 200k caviar before the goggles. But yeah, after the goggles, which saved like 11% total caviar, you're supposed to finish with like 150, 200k spare mixes, or like attack mix, two dose potions. But I don't have enough. Like I have in the bank like 140k caviar or something, and like no mixes that I want to use. Like I could make like super restore or super defense or prayer potion mixes, but I'm trying to avoid that if possible. And I think losing some caviar is actually not too bad if you do mixology, because mixology is like over EHP anyway. So it's like you're getting under HP doing fishing, but you're getting over doing mixology. So it's like not the worst, but it kind of does feel bad. So depending on the hub situation, I could nuke some restores, some prayer pots, some super defenses, but in terms of playing the game post 200 Milan, which was one of the things I didn't get to cover last time, which I might this time if I have time. I kind of really should only be awake for like 50 more minutes, but that's probably not going to happen, because I'm probably going to talk for an hour and a half. We just had daylight savings, like last night, so I woke up and it was like 3:30, which was technically 4:30. Like usually I get up between like 5 and 6, So I was like, yeah, I could go back to sleep, but I could wake up. So I just got out of bed. I actually wasn't 100% sure if it was daylight savings, but I was like pretty sure it was. I wasn't sure if it was like the Sunday night slash Monday morning. Um, but the Saturday night, Sunday morning it actually was. Yeah, so I woke up pretty early. So I probably should go to bed early today, but I will probably work from home tomorrow because I don't want to go in because I'm lazy. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, so I should be on a bed at like 8, which is in 50 minutes or 45 minutes, but we'll see. Um, Herb. Yeah, so post 200 mil is like something I might be able to talk about if I have time. But I guess TLDR, super defense potions are really rare from clogging. Like, I don't think there's any bosses that drop them in large quantities. Um, Obviously, like, super combats will be super useful for, like, PvM, and, like, there's only, like, a limited amount of super combats, and I don't think, like, saving a couple hours is necessarily worth nuking my PvM supplies for the future, but, if it's going to save me a rank, it'll save me a rank, but I really doubt it. So I'll, like, keep the caveat. I might not finish Herb for a while. Like, I still got, like, at least 2 months of Herb runs, I think. Um, I think I have about 5,000. It's like, what, 600 plus 600? So that's 1,600. 28 plus 1k plus that's 39. Maybe like 4,500 seeds. Plus the contracts I do along the way might get me to like 6 or 7,000, which is like, yeah, what's that, like 170? Am I retarded? 700 herb runs. I probably do like, I'll have my temple open. I do about 55 herb runs a week, or I did last week. So, what's that? Is that 10 weeks? Over 10 weeks? 13 weeks? Okay, so maybe I have even more herb runs than I thought, but I'm just making up numbers at this point. So I've, yeah, 2 to 3 months of herb runs left, and then I'll assess the situation after that. Oh yeah, and what I also didn't mention is I gathered all the secondaries that aren't like time based. So obviously like white berries, potato cactus, you need like uh you need like you can't just like collect them en masse. So I've just been doing them like at the end of farm runs. Limpworts, obviously during farm runs. Um, Snapdragon, I have like 7k snaps and a small amount of seeds, and I have no red spider's eggs, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to try rogue synth thieving again, but we'll see. Maybe that's only like 5-6 hours or something at Spidey's if I just did it that way, so I didn't do them, but the main ones were more my fungus. I picked like, I don't know, 40-50k of those or something. Using the method I think Carver made with 2 ults and the reagent pouch. I made a, wait, did I make a video? I don't think I did. Maybe I intended to, but Carver has one. I used a slightly different spot, which was like a tick closer to the bank or something, but um, you have one account every 2 ticks, cast bloom, and you don't ever have to move. And it's like a little bit over 4k an hour, which is like, it was actually like really, really fun, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I've typically never liked more my fungus, but with the ults, and I don't know. There's like, nowadays there's almost nothing I dislike. Like even the really tedious shit, I have kind of come around to. And then the next one, which, yeah, even more tedious, was Wines of Zami. But I kind of smashed that out, to be honest. I did the Wines of Zamorak 6 hour, I got 5,000 wines. I did have to 5-minute log for that. I had like 20 seconds left. Um, Obviously not a real record, but I was just there for 6 hours, so I was like, fuck it, this is funny. Um, and then I telegrabbed 20k of those, and it's like 700 to 800 an hour, depending on the board population and PK. I actually got attacked a few times. I never got anywhere close to dying. One guy was like really low combat in like fucking salad robes and a mystic staff or something, and he was like, he typed at me. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna get you" or some shit. And then like 20 seconds later, he attacked me, and then I don't know. I don't know. I'm in max gear, and he's in fucking 20k, and he's 90 combat. So you know, one other guy was PKing with multiple combat bracket accounts at Wines Azami, which is, I don't know, kind of crazy, but um, and the other guy was in like actually better gear, but uh, was kind of retarded, and I don't know, it's pretty easy to juke people at the fucking shortcut. Um, I really don't know why people PK there. Maybe a bunch of retarded Iron Men. Um, and it's funny to kill them, which maybe makes sense, but yeah. Um, like, just, I don't know, if you see someone in Missouri in a Din's Bulwark, like, they obviously have 20 brews, maybe you're, like, not gonna hit them. And I could have brought an ult, but fuck, bro, I'd get up in, like, I had, like, two setups get at the same time. I was, like, artifacts and the Mortmai Fungus, because I was, like, doing them depending on time of day for the World Pop, because the Zemi Wines spawn faster at high World Pop. I was like, fuck, I don't want to, like, de-gear all this shit. I'm lazy as fuck, so I didn't, and because you can just, yeah, it's just splash on yourself and then like log out or whatever. But I don't know, it's whatever. Like you just can't die. Um, so yeah, I have all those secondaries in the bank. So really, herb lore for me now is just a couple herb runs. And then making potions. I have most of the secondaries really, because potato cactus, whiteberry, limpwort basically don't feel like secondaries because you just click the fucking potato cactus and then do a Clash of Clans raid or some shit. It's really fun. But I actually doing a lot of those, so I gotta be upkeeping the potato cactus runs. I think bird runs. I need a lot more bird runs than herb runs, I think. So I'll have to upkeep those even past herb runs, but like that's fine. I was probably gonna do that anyway. I still don't have full evil chicken. So yeah, herb lore is looking good. It's a lot less complex in terms of like calculating what I need and shit, because I have a better idea. Really what's gonna happen is I'm gonna farm herbs until I run out of seeds. I might keep like, I don't know, 5 or 10 of like each for like contracts. Maybe like a little bit more cat and tines because it's like the pre-plant. And then like farm the rest of the herbs. And then look at the banked XP. I'll be able to calculate how many mixes I'll be able to make, and then I'll be able to actually know how much more herb XP I will need. And I don't know if I like just finish herb, like straight up, like, oh, I could lock in a better herb lore rank and it would make the game a lot simpler, like never have to worry about herb. Technically I would save a couple hours by like keeping herb and then like lamping herb, and I get extra herbs from Kingdom and yada yada yada, bro. But like, fuck, I'll probably just finish the skill, and especially if I don't need to finish fishing, which will probably take me 8 or 9 months, I think, of just zero timing. If I don't end up finish fishing to be able to use all the mixes, then I might just finish off herb lore. I might have to do some Harrowlander runs to do some herb tot. That's like completely fine. So yeah, herb lore is looking really good. Because like previously before mixology it was like, I don't know, it's like really annoying to calc mixology XP. Plus mixes, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, Purple's looking good. I'm actually like also more open to finishing 200 mils now, just because like technically I could save it to the very very end, which is like, oh, it would save me a couple hours. But I think at that point like the macro efficiency is way less important, and it's like the idea in my head of playing fully macro is like still there. It's like, oh well, it's gonna save me time, I should do it. But like the simplification of the thought process of like macro efficient routing, if you just finish a skill, it makes it so mues easier. It's like if you just like finish Herblore instead of leaving a 1 mil XP off, it's like maybe you'll lose a couple hours, but it's like I don't know. It's like fine. It's like a max cape speed run if you like I don't know do some I don't know. It's like very hard to calculate the optimal routing when you could just like fucking play the game um, for a couple more extra hours rather than just like actually have to think through like all the different shit. Um, which is what kind of why I finished smithing um, a couple months. Oh, it was a while ago now. Um, I do actually have a few infernal picks, so I fucking lost like I don't know, man, like 1.5 hours because of infernal pick smithing XP. Like oh no, like I'm dead. Like I don't know. I'll just play an extra hour and a half. Like it's fine. Um, so yeah, when it comes down to like that macro, I think it's not worth thinking about. I think it's cool to see it happen. I know DK who did it really, really well. Like he finished with like the week before 200 mil all, he had like I don't know, fucking 10 or 12 skills or some shit, like still not finished. Like he did really well on that, which is actually really cool to see. But you know, for me, as much as I like that routing, it's I don't know, it requires way too much thinking to be worth it. Instead of just like playing an extra hour, to consistently be like routing and thinking about that shit. So, um, yeah, definitely not necessary. So I'm definitely more open to finishing 200 mils. I mean, I like, no, I'm never gonna like finish 200 mil at like Agi now and then like lose fishing XP, like of course. But things that like require thinking about like herblore and I mean, construction is a tough one. Um, because it's like, especially with sailing, maybe I'll talk about it later, but it's like, if sailing comes out before I finish, I'll have to do a lot of wood cutting at teaks, and so I'll be able to do mahogany benches and then a lot more teaks. But if because I won't have enough time to finish redwoods or wood cutting at redwoods at 0 time. But if sailing does come out before I finish, I'll have to do way less wood cutting at teaks. So like I'll have to do mahogany homes for con. So it's like I don't really want to commit to one now and kind of fuck myself later. Um, Although to be fair, like the only time I really do redwoods is at work and while I'm lifting, and I could easily do something else while I'm lifting, but I really do like redwoods because it's like 5 minute AFK and you can like really focus. Um, the only other thing I did was Karams, but that's yeah, even still banking can be annoying. And then yeah, work I could just replace it with Nightmare Zone, which is like I mean it's worse, but well, yeah, to be honest, like it's worse if you have Slay left because the effective like melee XP now on Slay is like 600k. Um, but if you're just challing off task, like it's actually about as good as Redwoods. So I don't know, maybe I could commit to doing more teaks and banking construction that way. But I don't really have to think about it because I'm mining at the moment and I'll be here for months. And that'll give us time for sailing to be more clear. Because I'm hoping I have the sailing release date is like autumn, which uh, is the when the end of autumn is like December 15 or something, and I'm expecting to finish at my current pace around end of February, mid-March. So if they can delay it like 3 months, I'll be able to, I'll be able to like finish before, but which I'd really like to. I really want to finish before sailing, but like it's so boring if sailing releases like a couple months before I finish, because then it just like doesn't. I don't know. It just feels wrong, you know? Like it doesn't count or some shit. Well, like I don't know. Like it's whatever. We'll see. I maybe talk about sailing later, but anyway. So what I'm doing now, so yeah, so I finished Herblore, or like finished actively doing my Herblore training, and then the decision was either I do thieving, RC, mining, or construction. And construction, as I mentioned before, I kind of want to wait on. Thieving, I was doing a little bit with the new artifact lure with like the red X on the guard, so you can just like literally just run through. Um, but it's always lured on at best an American East Coast world, which is like 250 ping, and at worst the European world, which is like 350 ping. So like if it's on the European worlds, I tried it for like an hour and a bit, and then I gave up. Um, and East Coast US is like playable, but um, I did that for a little bit, and it's like not always set up because it's usually only set up in the mornings, which is like I don't know when I fucking work. So outside of weekends or like work from home for like 2 or 3 hours in the morning before work, like um, I don't really have too much opportunity to do it, but that's like fine. Um, RC, I have I think I need like 50 or like six or yeah 60 or 70k a day until I'm completely banked RC, which feels really weird. Because I've just been doing day on my phone for 4 years. Um, and well, the funny thing is, so while I was doing Guardians of the Rift, I stopped doing day because I didn't want to like go overboard on RC in case I went like really dry on the pet. Um, and I switched from day to bone mining whenever I do that, which is like um, in the mornings and before bed. Um, and oh my god, I thought bone mining was gonna be like not like I didn't know what it would be like, but oh my god, dude, it is Dale on steroids. It is like it's like 15-20 seconds longer AFK than Dale, and you can reset it at any time. It's like, dude, this shit is fucking insane. It's like and like I don't know, going back to Dale and like actually having to like listen to the sound to like know when I was stopping mining, which was like the cue I use. It was just like I don't know. It was it was hard to go back, but uh it's like fine now after like a couple days or whatever. But yeah, bone mining will be really nice. But obviously bone mining is like I don't know 0.45 ish, and Dale's like 0.5, so it's like obviously better if you're doing Dale. Yeah, especially since like you don't need to bone mine to do like mining, but you do need to do Dale to do RC unless you want to I don't know do Guardians of Rift and cranes and whatever the fuck else, but that's kind of retarded IMO. So just do the day out on the phone for 4,000 hours or what, 2,000 hours, whatever it is. Um, so yeah, so I decided to do mining, and the reason for that was, I think in my first ramble I said I was gonna do mining, but then I did the whole herb law fucking bullshit and all the other stuff. But I did enjoy mining, so like, oh fuck it, I'll go back. Um, because like typically I like doing one thing at a time for like a long period of time. Um, that's not necessarily like doing a skill straight, but like doing a lot of a skill straight. Like well, I mean, I did like basically all of Slayer straight. Agility I did from like 80, 90 mil to like 190 mil. Um, Hunter I did from like what 60 mil to 150 mil or something. So like stuff like that, just like picking one thing and doing it for like 1 month to I don't know over a year. Like I think Slayer was like a year and a half or something. Um, I think Agi was like 6 or 7 months or something. And so mining is like the last really, really long skill I have left. Um, like thieving is like 300 hours. RC is like 300 to 400. Con is like 300. I've got fire making too actually, but with like redwoods I do like I bonfire them slash sometimes bank the logs, so I'm not sure how much of that I need, but I know it'll probably be like 150, 200 hours. And then I don't know, otherwise it's just like herblore and miscellaneous shit, like, I don't know, 10 mil, like, Hunter XP or 5 mil Agi, or I don't know, stuff like that. Just, like, finishing skills off. Whereas mining, I have, like, I think I'm at, like, 62 mil at the moment. So it's, like, 1100 hours, like, EHP until finish. And I'll end up doing a lot of bone mining. So I'll probably stop at, like, 150, 160, 170. I really don't know. It'll all be based on, like, the sailing news, really. Or I will stop if I get bored, but I'm really enjoying the moment, so um yeah. Um but obviously, I mean, the skill is very high APM, and I mean, you can probably hear, like, I assume the keyboard clicks are like as audible as before, and it's like, yeah. I usually actually have the in-game audio up a lot higher, but I figured that would probably be a little bit rag, so I turned it down a lot. Yeah, so doing mining at the moment. I was always not scared of mining, but in my head, granite was just like way harder than it actually is to like doing it long term. I thought it would be like way too hard, but it's like I spent like I think I started doing it on like a Thursday or something. I did like a couple hours Thursday, and then Friday I did like a couple more hours. Um, my hands were like mostly my fingers actually from clicking the keyboard a lot, were like a little bit sore, and it's like I don't know, like I definitely didn't like go all out. Then it's like Saturday, Sunday I played like, or Saturday I did like 1.45 mil XP or something, and I was like completely fine. So like all it took was, I intentionally did it was just like warm up over a few days before getting into it fully, and it's like no issue now. And it's also just like not hard. Like this is actually like it's engaging enough. Like I don't really need to do anything on the side, and for some reason it's fun enough. But maybe because I've just been in like voice, but like I don't feel the need to do other shit. Um, which is like I guess why I think gatherers are fun in that way, and maybe that's why a lot of people like them is because they're so engaging that you can't do other things. Um, like during Hunter, I never feel like scrolling Discord or typing or like doing anything. Like I'm just focusing on Hunter or well at least like doing Black Chins or whatever. Um, I've done a small amount of Barblo, and that's like the same. Like Barblo is so engaging and such high APM that I can just do that shit in silence and I don't even realize. Because like I just zone out and I'm just or like zone everything else out and I'm just like, in the zone, clicking and shit, and it's like when I'm mining is like not quite there, but it's like still like very close. Um I did play the idle like game a bit today, but I mean that mostly consists of clicking the thing and then minimizing the client for like an hour. So like it's not I don't know, it's an idle game, it's not really playing it, but um and I did a 6 hour yesterday morning. Because what I wanted to do was like do a 6 hour at the start of the skill, kind of see what rates I was getting, and do one or maybe a couple at the end and see if I like actually improve or anything. Um I got 807.5k, which was ranked 21. I mean there's a few cheated Stardust ones above me. BKO, Swifts, and I think someone mentioned Bala, but I'm not sure on that one. But yeah, a little bit gay, but like I don't care. Well, I don't care. Like my rank's lower, but a little bit weird to cheat a mining six just to get a better rank. Um, but that's whatever. Um, and yeah, so I got 807.5, which is 132.5k an hour, which is like a lot better the rates than I thought I'd get. And also I was lagging like fucking shit, bro. I swear to God, the servers for like 2 weeks have been. I don't know if it's just because I noticed more mining, but they have been so bad. Like the tick tracker here says it's like really good, and the worlds have been a lot better today than they were yesterday. But like, dude, I would just like knife log, click the rock, and like 2 ticks later it would knife log and move. So it's like I was still like in the cycle all the time, but like I just 2 ticks just disappeared into thin air, and it just happens so often. Um, and at one point, not during the 6 hour, but like later that day, I just like half DC'd, so like everything froze for like 5-10 seconds, and then um, I think that was the connection lost shit, and then I just like came back, like I didn't get logged out, and the in-game timer on the report button got reset and shit. So it was just like, and I know a lot of people, a few other people have been having that as well. So I don't know what's going on with the servers, but so I probably lost like at least a minute to that. Um, so you know, it could have been like 8-10K ish, which is like I'm pretty happy. Like I mean, I was just happy to get over 800K. I got like 200 XP above Gliss, so rank 1 Australian mining 6 hour right here, guys, or something like that. But um, yeah, so hopefully like towards the end, you know, maybe I can get like 815, or maybe even better. But yeah, I don't really like records, so it'll probably just be more. I'll do a couple at the end and just see what I end up getting. I definitely won't reset for rank 1 and maybe not even top 3 because it's just so retardedly hard. Like the rank 1 is like if you tick perfect, it's like a 16% chance to beat it. It's like wow, like that's really cool. And I'm just never gonna be able to do a tick perfect one in my life. I don't think. Um, Unless yeah, maybe my muscle memory gets like way better. And I start like fucking up. But yeah, um, I think especially it's probably like good practice because like with the Addy pick, you have to drop like a lot more. And then it's like going to Inferno. Like I used Inferno pick for the 6 hour because I have like 5 in the bank from sub. Um, and so right now I'm using Stardust plus Addy pick, which is on par of dropping as 1.5 tick teaks is now. So it's quite a lot of dropping, but yeah, maybe I'll get more practice of dropping through this way, and then it'll just be really easy with Infernal or something, but I don't fucking know. Yeah, so in like 6 months, maybe we'll go again and see what we get. Top 3 would be cool, top 5, yeah, but I don't really care. Yeah, I think like I'm just really happy that I did as well as I did with the mining. Because typically I've always struggled with granite. I think my hand dexterity alone isn't that great. Well, I don't know if that's the right word, but in terms of just like if I wasn't keyboard clicking, I'd be doing way worse. Just because I can't do everything just with one hand that well. But with 2 hands, this shit is like so easy. And I think if granite is like too high APM than you in terms of just like yeah, doing it with one hand, just load up the fucking left click keyboard, bro. This shit is beast. Like it's so easy to drop things because I can just like glide my hand down and click 3 times because I just have 3 fingers on left click. So yeah, really enjoying that. I really yeah, it's like a lot easier with that I think. And I like the rhythm more to be honest. Um, of using the keyboard. Yeah, I think yeah, it was nice to get a good 6 hour, or at least a reasonable one. Um, yeah, and I think with mining, it's like I was expecting just to not like granite and then just want to do VM, and maybe that'll happen. But you know, I'm like, what's my mining week? Like 4 mil maybe. Let me refresh. Yeah, like 4 mil mining this week. Just about like 32 hours or something. In like 4 days, which is like I don't know, like it's been like totally fine. I've really enjoyed it, so maybe it won't be bad. But I think I just have to stay in the volcano or stay out of the volcano, because like if I ever go back in, I'm never leaving. Like I'll be playing Clash of Clans and doing VM all day, bro. But uh, I really like to not be doing that. Like obviously it's fun, but it's just like it's point 0.8, so it's like why do that when like granted it's just like equally as fun if you just like aren't lazy. Um, and that's also one of the reasons why I um picked to do mining now is like if I do 10, 20, 30 mil and then I get bored and like or like I want to do something less AFK, I can switch to one of the easier skills because the rest of the game I have is like really easy skills. Um, but if I save it to last, which was my original plan because of like macro efficiency, it's like if I don't want to do grounded, I have to do VM or blast mine or something. So I'm like actually losing EHP. Like I can't just like switch to another skill and then come back later. So I figured I'd just do that. Um, but yeah, so that's mining. Um, I do this every time, but it's like, how have I spoken for 41 minutes? And I've not even got into a single topic. I did. Uh, I guess we're going for like another hour or something. Anyway, yeah, so mining. We're doing mining. Liking mining. Good, good, good. Obviously, the setup is I'm at the TOA spot. Um, I have the blindfold on because I don't know. I like it. Um, and I have the player outline, uh, the trans colors because it's funny. And I kind of just kept it on. Um, and yeah, maybe I should have inventory tags. That would spice it up a bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's nice. Um, cool. All right, that's what we're doing. That's what we've done. Pablo mining. Anything else of note to mention? Got the Gardens of the Rift Pet. Um, Yama is coming out soon, I think. Probably won't be doing that. Um, unless the spec shit is really easy to get. Because if I have to, like, fucking a couple hundred hours of off-task Charlie, the death charge upgrade will be very strong. It'll be like 25% better or something, so maybe I'd end up getting it. But yeah, otherwise, I probably won't do it on release. CAs I haven't kept up with since Huey Codal. I didn't do those ones because I didn't want to. I don't need to. Um, anything else? Anything else? I think that's it for the immediate thing. And then, I mean, the future. The future is just mining for 6 months or something like that. So, not much to talk about there. Cool. All right. So we can move on to the first dot point I had, IRL. Um, I really want to talk about this in the last ramble, but I didn't get to, and so I figured I'd make it my first topic. Um, maybe I can also talk about like how it. Did I ever talk about how I got into skilling? I don't remember. I think I did on the Save Cast, but maybe I can run it back. But I think maybe it's an important part of IRL. All right, so I started skilling efficiently. Well, I guess just skilling. 2020? When did I graduate high school? Was it 2020? And 21, 2, and 3. And I started working for. Yeah. End of 2020. So I graduated high school like November 2020. And then there was like a 3 month break between high school and uni. And it was also COVID. Um, not that I would have like gone outside anyway, but so I was playing RuneScape all day, every day. I was doing TOB, because at this point I wasn't maxed. I was probably like 2200 total or something on the iron. And I was pretty into PVM. I was like dry the scythe on the iron. And I was getting into like duo Tob speed runs. So I was doing a lot of duo Tob. Um, I had the Oblivion Diary time at that point. I think it was 24:30 or some shit like that. So fucking way slower than the runs are nowadays. Um, I guess just as a reference of what I was getting, but um, I was like pretty okay at it. Like definitely not special, but I could do it. Um, and what I was doing is I was just AFKing the Iron Man on the side. So I was just doing Redwoods or ZRC just to max the Iron Man because I figured like why not. And then when I didn't have teams, I would just do I'd try to do the efficient methods because like I've always been interested in efficient methods. Like I remember watching like Automelgy 10 years ago. Um, there was a how to three tick fish with the the snow hat, and I could not do that shit, bro. But like I was always I mean, it didn't help that Australian worlds didn't exist back then. So I was on like 300 ping plus the servers were really shit back then, and I didn't have any understanding of what a tick was, like really, like at least like mentally. So that was like I never really got it down, but I tried. Um and I'd always try to do like the efficient methods. Um so I would do like Lava RC when I was like actively training it. Um what are the methods? I mean, Slayer I probably finished way too early. Mining, I tried Granite. I also did a decent bit of VM, couple mil XP. But I also did a lot of that at... How did I train mining? I don't think it was MLM. Maybe it was just Granite and Sand and VM. I actually can't remember. But I remember doing, yeah, a bit of Granite. Um, I did a lot of, well, a lot. I did quite a bit of 1.5 techniques before 90 wood cutting. Um, I was able to like maintain 1-to-1 and I was pretty happy. I remember a specific memory of telling someone who was like knew a little bit about skilling because he was friends with Pyzuri. And I sent him a screenshot. I got 1.02 EHP in 1 hour at woodcutting, and I was like, wow, I'm the goat. Um, so that was yeah, that was cool. Um, that was yeah, obviously like level 87 woodcutting or something. Like the rates are just like interpolated or whatever. It's yeah. Uh, so yeah, and I kind of realized like I actually like training the methods efficiently. Like it's actually kind of fun. And at the same time, one of my friends was he started listening to skilling podcasts and he got into skilling himself. Um, and well, by got into skilling, I mean did bake pie and chins, but he liked the skilling podcasts and he sent a few of them to me and I ended up watching them. And there were like a couple of Solas, a couple of Omnia podcasts, and I don't know maybe a Hexus one or whatever. Um, and I found a lot of the really funny. I think the Mitch VVS story about the broken air conditioner or whatever during the comp having not showered or whatever was I don't know shit like that was just so funny. And I really enjoyed. I listened to like quite a few of them. Um, and I obviously listen to all of them now, and I probably listened to all of them within the last like 4 or 5 years. Before that, it's like it's a lot of people that I don't even know at all, and to be honest, they're probably not even that good at RuneScape. So it's like wow, I run the Audi lab, like cool. Um, so yeah, and I kind of just like yeah worked towards max. I maxed on end of February 2021, and then I kind of just decided I wanted to skill. First thing I did was go to Tithe Farm, and I got herb sack, auto weed, seed box, because I didn't have them. I don't think. I don't. Maybe I. I don't think I had auto weed. Um, and I just remember it was like 1 a.m. I had like just maxed a couple hours ago, and I was doing Tithe Farm. I was just having so much fun. Um, and then I started doing seaweed runs, mining sand, making glass. Because I mean, back when you could blow glass to the bank for 1-to-1, holy fuck. Um, yeah, so that's what I was doing. Um, I don't really remember too much. I obviously got into Slayer pretty quickly. I started doing the herb runs, the contracts. I remember doing like a bunch of different skills. Like I think at one point I did like 15 mil thieving artifacts. Like God, back in the day, that was no one did that really. So definitely wasn't as good as people were now, even before the new well before the new law, but also the guard line of sight changes. Um, yeah, those artifacts, and then I don't know, a little bit of SEP, and I got into, yeah, Slayer pretty early. I think I was like already 15, 20 mil Slayer or something ish from I run really dry on Armadillo. Um, and some other Slayer uniques. So I just already had a bit of Slayer XP, and then I don't know, just started slaying, and I really liked the Slayer ults, but they got nerfed when I was like 30, 40 mil Slayer or something, so not happy with Seabane about that one, because I really liked ulting my smokes and my necks and shit, but to be honest, I do like self-ulting Necreals and Dust Devils, and smokes is kind of gay, but because you need, well, making cannonballs is fire because you can zero time for like 0.5 doing cannonballs, but uh, I definitely prefer ulting them. Obviously, goading potion exists now, and that's, I don't know, maybe it's like not bad, but I think like efficiently luring and stacking was like a big part of like the Slayer XP rate, and I feel like I was pretty good at that, but and I guess now you just drink the fucking red potion and jerk off for 150k an hour or some shit. Which is whatever, I guess. Um, and then did Slayer, and I think I stopped at one. I stopped at Slayer a couple times very early. Before like 50 mil, did like a week or two of random other things, and then I don't think after that I basically just did Slayer straight for the most part. Yeah, anyway, I'll skip the rest of the account. Or like whatever, but yeah, that's kind of how that's kind of, that was my beginning of skilling. And so, yeah, so I started uni about a month? Maybe a couple weeks after I maxed. And the first semester was in-person tutorials, but online lectures because of COVID. So I was like going into uni. I still had like quite a lot of free time. Man, because it was fucking first year uni, that shit's so easy. So I was like playing a lot of RuneScape. And then second semester, there was like second or I don't know, maybe third COVID wave or some shit. So everything was online. So then I just had even more time. Like I was probably doing like 50 or like 40 to between 40 and 60 HP weeks, I think. In the first 6 months. Like it's hard to tell because of like banked HP, and obviously there's rate changes, so it's like hard to see. Plus, I don't know. Like I mean, there were a lot of the times where I wasn't even bothered to like zero time on my phone when I like ate food. It was only when I was like really motivated during the first 6 months, but obviously after that it was like all the time. Um, um, yeah, second semester of uni was all online, so I just played a lot of RuneScape. Um, third semester was also all online. I was in like the first semester of the second year. And after that, it's like I just never really went back into uni, even though it opened up. And I think in the third year lectures were in person. But like I live quite far away from the uni. Um, but the reason why it takes so long for me is because there's like no direct line. Like I have to take a random out of the way bus, which comes every 30 minutes. Um, um, and goes like a really long route, and then like a train or some shit like that. Um, and so it's like if I want to be on time all the time, I have to leave like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes before I need to be there, and that's one way, which is like retarded. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just do all of uni from home, except obviously exams and stuff. Um, so I just had a lot of time to play RuneScape. During the only other things I did, obviously, like, I mean, it would have been hard to do shit with COVID, but um, I kind of like the only other hobbies I had really were, I guess, sport. Um, I guess most of my life was sport and video games. Um, I played like soccer till I was 13, AFL from like 11 to 17, and then I've played futsal for 10 years and, well, maybe even more than that at this point. And I'm still playing futsal. The season ended like 2 months ago. It's only during the summer. Um, I've played like what, touch football for a couple of years, hockey for a year, and a bunch of random shit. Um, so, but like, I mean, sport wasn't really a thing during COVID, and yes, I was really just playing RuneScape. Um, yeah, I picked up lifting. So I kind of did lifting very, very casually, like in year 11 or 12 at the end of high school, which is like the last 2 years. Like it'd be like a once a week, like with a couple of people in a apartment gym that had like fucking barely anything. And I didn't know what I was doing. I wouldn't eat. I didn't know what I was doing, like nutritionally, form wise, exercise wise. It was more just like a social thing, really, I think. Um, but I guess it introduced it to me. So I did that for like a couple months, and then I don't know, did a little bit at home because we have like a home garage shit, which I still use now. But yeah, it wasn't ever really. It was never more than like twice a week, and usually just once or whatever. Um, but then I kind of stopped that. I can't remember why for a bit. I think during last year of school, I think I was more focused on. I spent quite a lot of time studying, I guess, and studying was only really math study. I like I did maths and science, and the sciences were easy enough, but the I did like the hardest math subject, um, and I really enjoyed just doing the math problems. So I just went in early to school and left late, like quite often, just to do that. And I think I stopped lifting, yeah, during that time. But then during uni, I picked it back up. Um, Started taking it a bit more seriously. Eventually, I started doing like 5, 6 days a week. I improved my nutrition, my exercise selection, form, yada yada yada. Um, and that lasted about a year. I think it was about a year. Because what happened was, so I guess I've always had it, but it got really bad at one point. Oh, it was a year or 2 years. Maybe it was a year and a half or some shit like that. Yeah, I would have started around like the third or fourth month and then ended like July was when the, I guess, incident happened. So yeah, bit under a year and a half ish or whatever. Um, because what happened is like I have this thing with my ears, which I've seen like I don't know, fucking four. What are they called? Ear, nose and throat, ENT, four ENTs. Um, and they think it's eustachian tube dysfunction, but it presents kind of weirdly. There's like two ways you can have it, like the eustachian tubes close too often or they open too often, and I kind of have both. So it's a little bit weird. But basically, the eustachian tube regulates the pressure between the inner and outer ear, um, and mine don't work properly. Um, so basically, what this means is um, on typically heavier lifts, I get like um, like just like the pressure like in my, I guess, body, or yeah, I mean particularly my head, but it doesn't like regulate properly, and I get like, um, if you know the feeling of being on an airplane where you try and pop your ears, that's the eustachian tubes opening to regulate, or like to even out the pressure. But it's basically that feeling, except it doesn't go away, and it's like a lot worse. Um, and then on top of that, I have uh, ringing in my ears, or tinnitus, or tinnitus, or whatever, which like, um, there's like a baseline level of it, which is like really annoying, but like you learn to live with it. Like it was really really bad. Um, I don't know, the first 6 months, but you kind of like pick up habits and shit to like deal with it. And stopping lifting after that point also made it better, because like the continual strain or whatever the fuck made it worse. But yeah, so that's the reason why I had to stop lifting. The doctor said, well, the NT said, just give lifting a pause for a couple months, see if it like improves, and it did. And so he's like, yeah, you'll probably have to find some other like thing to do, which for me was like really shitty because I didn't like running. Um, and yeah, but so like it all happened kind of suddenly after one day, when I flew on an airplane. So I went to Perth because most of my extended family's there, and I got off the plane, and that night I had ringing in my ears, and I thought it was just like a uh an appliance somewhere that was like making it. Then I woke up and I asked my brothers like, "Oh, do you guys hear that ringing?" And they're like, "No." And then it didn't go away. I heard it like all the time while I was there, and then I came back and I was like, "Okay, well this just isn't going away." So I saw a doctor, and then another doctor, and then a specialist, yada yada yada, and they're like, "Oh yeah." Well, actually, it took a couple months. Um, but yeah, that's really unfortunate. But it kind of just got explained to me as like some people have bad knees, some people have bad hips, and I just have bad eustachian tubes. And I don't think it was directly caused by the plane flight, because I always had similar symptoms. Like whenever I would squat or deadlift, I always used to, even like when I originally started, I always used to yawn a lot, which is a sign of like you yawn like on an airplane to regulate the pressure. Um, so I always did and still do yawn whenever I do like um higher, I guess like it's ultimate more compound move, I guess, like squat deadlift, and um yeah, I guess the more like physically demanding movements, I guess, um, can well do cause that still, um, which sucks, but I, you know, deal with it as best as I can, um, because it probably isn't going away. So that's kind of just how it is. So yeah, so I had to quit lifting in so uh I stopped lifting. I think it was like, so the problem started happening like really badly. I think it was like July. It was like during the uni break, so middle of the year, and then it wasn't until like November, December that I finally kind of figured out what was going on. And the doctors told me to stop lifting, so I did. And then I don't know, that was after my second year of uni. Um, and then into the third year, I tried to get back into lifting as many times as I could. Like I would try different exercises, like different intensities, different diets, different like all this different stuff, but the problem never went away. Um, or like it was always like persistent and bad enough that like I couldn't maintain. Um, like the like dealing with the symptoms were just like worse than the benefits of lifting. And yeah, I couldn't lift for a while. Um, I am lifting at the moment. I have been for about a year. But yeah, it wouldn't be until about a year and a half after that that I finally have found a way to be able to like lift without bragging myself that much. And basically, the changes I had to make were no caffeine, because I used to take pre-workout. Well, I didn't for the longest time, for like over a year, I think, and then someone told me to try it, and then I did, and I know it was good, I guess, but um, caffeine is actually bad. Well, if you have like eustachian tube issues or like ear issues, like caffeine is bad for that. Um, I'm not like actually 100% sure like the caffeine is bad because I mean I never drank caffeine anyway. Like I don't even think I've had a coffee in my life. I've had like 1, 2 iced coffees, but and I don't drink energy drinks at all. I've tasted one once ever, which is a funny story to that. Maybe I'll share, but um, yeah. So I never consumed caffeine outside of pre-workout, but um, yeah, I stopped taking that, and it seemed to help. Um, I have to drink a lot of water because dehydration, even to a small degree, is really bad for the symptoms. High salt intake is also really bad. So, I mean, I didn't eat a high salt diet before, but I kind of try and minimize salts. Like, I mean, salts are present like a lot of processed food, and I don't eat a lot of processed food, and kind of never really did. But yeah, I'm just a little bit more aware about it now. Um, and then so that's like the diet ish changes, and then in terms of like the lifting routine, it's I don't squat, I don't deadlift, I don't do barbell bench, and I don't do uh barbell rows, because those are the all like real hard exercises that cause the most like I guess strain or maybe which cause the issues, and so removing them like as much as it sucks, especially because I have a home gym, so I have no machines. Um, so I just effectively can't train like the big muscle groups as you traditionally would. Um, so yeah, I did that and I've been able to lift. Um, it kind of sucks because I can't like really push myself outside of like um, what's the opposite of compound? Fuck, like one at a time. Single muscle move. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called at the moment. It's outside of those. It's very hard to like push myself to complete failure, but it's like it's better than doing nothing. So I'm like at least happy with it. And I I go to failure, but like there's like failure and then there's like failure, which is like I can do a set and I can push till I like fail. But like if I'm not like 100% dialed in, because like you can lift more if you're like physically and emotionally like in the zone, right? Like you can lift so much more. Um, and it's like I can't really get into that zone consistently and not get screwed by it. Um, so like I'm still going to failure, but like I technically could do more. Like I'm training hard enough to like improve my lifts. Um, which I guess is the main thing. So yeah. So yeah, I started lifting. I think about June or July last year. So it's been almost a year that I've been back at it, and it's been really good. My current routine is 4 days a week, um, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I work from home Thursday, Friday, and just do it during lunch. That's Saturday, Sunday, obviously I'm at home. And my routine is, my I guess routine is Thursday is chest and shoulders, so it's uh, dumbbell bench, incline, into cable lateral raises into dumbbell rear delt raises. I could be doing more, but I think, I mean, one, I'm like during lunch, so like disappearing for 2 hours during the middle of a work day is like not great. But I do like space out my sets quite a bit. I try and rest like at least 2 minutes on like the easier ones, and um, like on the harder movements, like 3 to 4 minutes. So um, I think it's fine. Lifting's also not like my 100% focus at the moment, so like I'm not like too interested in like completely optimizing it or whatever. But I guess just that as a caveat. Then Friday is back and biceps, which is lat pull down and like a cable. Is it called a cable row? I guess. Except I have a really scuffed setup. I have like a cable attachment directly above and then directly at the bottom, which goes like sideways. So I just have to like sit on the floor and pull. So but it works. And then I do easy bar curl and then uh, single arm seated curls in like a extended position or whatever, like arm behind the shoulder or whatever. And then Saturday is chest and triceps, which is dumbbell bench, incline push-ups, and tricep cable press downs, I guess. Again, maybe could do a little bit more, but I think for my purpose it's fine. And then Sunday is a little bit longer. It's a bit of everything. So I've been incorporating split squats, but very light. Just to actually just do at least something for my legs. So a couple sets of split squats, even very light, I still get the effects. And then weighted ab crunches I just put in the other week, but I may put that on another day because otherwise it gets too long. I did them on Saturday this week actually, but and then cable delt raises, dumbbell rear delt flies, easy bar curl, tricep press down. So yeah, just fitting all like the smaller muscle groups in like a second time during the week. So yeah, that's the schedule. It's probably not that optimal, but again, I have no machines. I kind of just do what I enjoy, and my lifts improve and I have fun. So like I think that's the most important thing. If I'm doing anything seriously wrong, like I'm happy to take feedback. Would be cool, I guess. But yeah, definitely not like my highest priority at the moment. It's just something that like I'm making sure I do consistently to like stay healthy. That's lifting. Oh, I guess my diet. My diet at the moment is I don't like count calories or protein really. I kind of just eat what I feel to be enough. Um, and it's probably not optimal, but it's like easy and it doesn't require a lot of like thought um, or time. So my breakfast is Wheat Bix, which is like a wheat biscuit cereal with milk and honey. My lunch is basically always chicken and rice, which is just like plain white rice and chicken mince with a curry sauce. I just do like a kilogram batch of chicken at a time, and that's like a week of lunches. Dinner is whatever mom makes. And I usually have most days a tin of tuna, protein shake, or everyday protein shake, creatine. Then I sometimes snack on nuts, fruit. Um, I drink a lot of water. I drink milk occasionally. I don't drink as much milk anymore. But I'm drinking like a protein shake every day because I have it with milk. Um, yeah, that's my diet. I mean, occasionally, if I like, I'm still hungry or whatever, I'll eat. I don't know. Like if I somehow run out of chicken because of the shopping schedule, whatever, I have chicken nuggets or chicken tenders in the fridge for at least like a backup meal, but it's not often or whatever. And maybe sometimes I go out to eat lunch with coworkers, but for the most part, it's pretty consistently that. Um, and it has been that for a while. I sometimes used to add in like different meals, like sometimes I cooked like bolognese and pasta, but that takes like over an hour versus the chicken is like 25 minutes. And then sometimes I used to cook pita bread, which took an hour in like 2 sessions because you have to like make the dough and let it raise, and then cook them in, chuck everything inside the dough, and then cook the dough. So that was like terrible to make, but it tastes really fucking good, and it only made like 4 meals. So I kind of scrapped that one. Actually, just had that for dinner today. Really really yummy. Um, but yeah, so we chicken and rice Andy now. Um, yeah, I don't really eat much else. Oh, protein bars occasionally is like a something I bring to work just as a snack. Otherwise, just apple, raspberry, blueberry, cucumbers sometimes. Um, yeah, I feel like I probably could add vegetables to the lunch, but I think I ate enough vegetables at dinner. Like usually I have like some broccoli, carrots, beans, and occasionally corn. And my dinner's usually like beef or pork or chicken or lamb or something and veggies. Like it's usually meat and veg. Occasionally it's something retarded. And I have to try and like get protein in elsewhere. But yeah, so I think like my calorie count is probably somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000, and my protein count is probably like between 100 and 120, which is like probably lower than it could be. And like, but every time I try and fit in more than that, it takes so much effort, and I've never really liked it. So I kind of just gave up on that, I guess. Um, like I could have like an additional can of tuna or something, or have 2 protein shakes, or cook some fucking more chicken or something. But it's especially at that point, it's hard to like fit in enough like that amount of protein into a low enough calories, which I guess is the struggle for like optimal lifting. But I don't really care that much about being optimal. But yeah, I kind of just pick whatever's easy and tastes good enough. Um, yeah, that's my diet, my lifting schedule. And then the other exercise I've been getting into is running. So I tried to start running during when I was playing futsal, so like December, January. But because I was playing like 3 games of futsal a week, my ankles and calves just couldn't recover well enough to be able to run at the same time. So I never progressed with the running. I was able to run like 1.5 Ks before my ankles and calves were just too sore, and it never really got much more than that. But after the futsal season ended, I shot up in terms of distance and speed. Um, so I run barefoot laps around the park. So my routing is yeah, it's just laps around the park for most of the time because I really try and avoid the concrete. But I'm a barefoot Andy. I think shoes are really bad for you. Uh, yeah, I like the feeling of grass on my feet, so that's cool. Yeah, so I was starting off like 1.5, 2 Ks, made it up to 3 reasonably quickly, 3.5, and I got 5 Ks probably after like a month. Well, I was pretty inconsistent for the first few weeks, then I started getting more consistent once I got around like 3.5. Then I got to 5 Ks, which was the first 5K I think I'd run in my life, probably ever. I think outside maybe a cross country run in year 8 or something when I was like 14, 13, which probably wasn't even 5 kilometers. Um, and my time ended up being 25 minutes 40 seconds, so 5 minutes and 8 seconds per kilometer, which was surprisingly quick for what I expected, because I didn't expect to be able to do anything that quick. And that was about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago maybe. I've done 2 more 5K since, I think, and then I did a 10K on Thursday, so like 4 days ago, and that was fucking tough, man. Like, my goal was like, I'm gonna do another 5K. If I can, I'll try and make it to 7. And I got to 5. I was pacing myself pretty slowly. I got to 5. I was running about 6 minutes 10 a kilometer, so I was, yeah, going pretty slowly. And I was like, yeah, feeling good. Got to 6, got to 7, starting to slow down quite a bit. I think my 7th kilometer was like 6 minutes 35 or something. And I was just like, fuck it, bro, just keep going. It was like I ran like I try to run either at the sunset or sunrise. So I was running at the sunset, and it was like just getting dark, or like the sun had kind of set, and it was like just between like being very bright and being like reasonably dark. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep running. I'm Forrest Gump, bro. Ran my 8th kilometer. Ran the 9th. I was running like 7-minute kilometers at this point, so I was exhausted. But like I just kept going, and I made it to 10Ks in 65 minutes and a couple of seconds or whatever. So pretty slow, but like, I don't know, pretty like big improvements, I think. I'd never run anywhere near that far in my life. My next goal is to just do it a little bit quicker, you know? But my cardio has improved so much over the last like month or two, which is really good. Like I've always had like I've always been reasonably fit as a kid because I played so much sport. But yeah, then kind of over like my last year of AFL was in like year 11. So since like year 12, then 3 years of uni, I basically didn't do much running at all. Because like I mean, just running around a park is typically pretty boring. But I mean, if you just play like I just play mobile on the phone, like I just tap the day out rock and then listen to music, and it's chill. Like especially like watching the sunset at the same time. So I've actually been really enjoying running. So yeah. Um, so I don't really have any goals for running. I think I'm just trying to do. Well, originally I was like, I'll just do it 2 or 3 times a week, but maybe I'll even try and do it like 4 or 5, or maybe even every day. I'm really not sure what I want to do. I'm currently still recovering. I went for a run Saturday night, so I did a Thursday run, rested Friday, ran Saturday, and I was still fucked, man. Like not ankles. What's like between ankle and calf? Like I guess very very low calf. Was just fucking so sore. Immediately, and it was sore the whole time, and my quads were fucked as well. Um, and then I mean, what I wanted to do was like just pace myself for a 5K. Just do like a medium pace 5K, like I don't know, 5 minutes 30 or something, or maybe even a little bit slower. And then my first K was 5 minutes 8, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for a PB, which I don't know, I'm just retarded, and I got baited. Like my first was like 5:08, second was 5:09, I think, and then I started slowing down a little bit. It was like 5:11, and then after the third K, I got a stitch, and that didn't go away for a whole kilometer, even though I slowed down and tried breathing like out or whatever, and I couldn't go any further after the fourth K, and then I walked like home, like the final kilometer, and it didn't go away until I got home, so that was kind of gay. It was like right before dinner too, so I like hadn't eaten. I drank plenty of water like right before I left, so I was definitely like pacing myself too hard. Because like around the 3 K kilometers usually, if I get a stitch, that's when it happens. 3 K kilometers. I don't know what I just said, but um, yeah, I mean, I still at least did a 4K run, so it was like not bad. Um, but even if I just like now that I've like made it to 10K, anything less than like 5 just seems like a waste of time. But like really, I have to just like focus more on like the consistency. Like if I can do like 3Ks every day, like it's better to do 3Ks than do nothing. Or maybe I can do 5Ks like 4 times a week or something. But I don't know. I'll try and figure something out and based on how I'm enjoying it. I typically the sport has started. There's like sports, especially on the weekends and like Thursday, Friday nights, and I don't know. I don't really like being around so many other people. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I've done a few morning runs, but I don't know. Sunsets usually. I like the sunset. I also like sunrise, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's running. I've been enjoying that. What are we at for time? 8:30, 30 minutes longer than I already kind of wanted. We're at an hour 26. Fuck me, bro. I haven't even talked about work or anything. All right. I don't know, like fucking whatever. Um, I guess I'll talk about work and school. Um, so in uni, I studied actuarial science, which was a 3-year degree. Um, it's a pretty niche degree, I guess. A lot of people don't know what it is. Um, so basically, just think of it as mathematics and statistics and finance all combined, I guess. So actuaries typically work in like insurance. So it's like I figure out what the chance you claim your policy is, and then I charge you a premium based on that. It's a very simplified version, I guess. Um, it's a pretty notoriously difficult degree, but I've kind of just been chilling and like doing enough to maintain um, like my grades being okay because you need like a 65 minimum um, average mark for like the actuarial subjects. Um, you don't just have to pass; it's a little bit higher. Um, but like I don't care about getting like high distinctions really. Um, oh, I did actually have a scholarship during uni because of my high school academic performance, so I didn't have to work during that, which was cool. I did umpire AFL for like 2 years of it, but then I gave that up after the third year. Well, during the third year, because I wasn't really enjoying that anymore. Like all the good people left. I mean, COVID kind of destroyed sports, and it was pretty hard. And I don't know, not that I had like many friends there, but yeah, I don't know. The people that came in charge of it were really annoying. So I stopped, and yeah, I didn't really want to progress like much further in umpiring, but yeah. So basically, I didn't have to work, so I was able to. That's why I was able to play a lot of RuneScape because I just have zero expenses and um, yeah, the scholarship covered anything I needed to live. Um, because it wasn't just like paying for the course, I just got paid money. So that was I don't know if that it usually works like that, but hey, um, yeah, because I don't know, like I don't drink or buy anything. Like I think drinking is usually the typical expense for um university students, but yeah, I've only had alcohol on one occasion in my life when I was like 19 or something. I was what do you call it? Peer pressured by a bunch of RuneScape people who I met IRL. Um, didn't really care for it, so We did go to a nightclub, and that was awful, bro. I never going to one of those ever again. Um, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but hey, the mini golf and the did some mini golf, so that was fun, and like actual golf range. But yeah, nightclub drinking, not for me. Um, so yeah, zero expenses, so that's why I had so much time. So yeah, not having to work plus COVID was kind of why I had so much free time as a student. Um, and could play a lot of RuneScape. Um, yeah, so I graduated end of 2023 with a Bachelor in Actuarial Science. I think my average mark was like 81 or 2 or something like that, so not bad. Um, kind of got carried by the first and second year subjects, which were really fucking easy, but like, hey, that's fine. Um, like the third year subjects, I was getting like mid 70s ish usually, so like not bad, like actually pretty decent, especially for how much effort I put in. But yeah, definitely not one of the kids who like studies their ass off to do better in university for whatever reason. Um, that's uni. Then I started working. So I work uh in insurance, in pricing. So again, I price the cost of a policy effectively. And I've been doing that for a year and a half. It's actually really fun. Like to be honest, after RuneScape, bro, I might just grind work. Like that shit is fun as fuck. I'm really enjoying it, which is good. Um, yeah, so I work what normal hours, 40 hours a week. Whoa, I have 40 hours a week plus study leave because there's like I'm still studying. Um, I'm currently working 3 days a week in the office and 2 days a week work from home. I started out the first few months, it was 3 days from home and two in the office, but then they upped it to three in the office. It's a little annoying because I like working from home, but I also like working in the office now. As well, now more than like previously, like, um, now that I've been around everyone for like a year and a half, I actually like, kind of like being around my at least immediate co-workers. There's like six of them or whatever. I don't mind being in the office. Getting to the office is really annoying. If I go at like 9 a.m. or to get there at 9 a.m. it takes like at least an hour, um, one way, and then an hour back, and I leave at 5. Typically, I get to work around at the moment around 7:30, or just anywhere between 7 and 8 really. So the commute's probably 40 minutes, of which like 25 minutes of that is on the bus, probably maybe 30 if I'm a little bit later. So it's not too bad. This time last year, I was rocking up to work at 6, so the bus was like less than 20 minutes. The walk was like 10-minute walk or something to the bus stop, but it's hard. The bus I usually catch just doesn't show up that early, like 5:30 in the morning. And I also the tech with that was one, it saves the commute time. It saves like an hour every time I commute over like going at 9. And then also I didn't have to be around people. So my thought process was, okay, if I get there at 6, most people, like some people rock up at 7, and a reasonable amount of people at 8, but probably like 60 to 70% of people rock up at 9. So like the first 3 hours are quiet, there's like basically nobody. Then I have like 2 hours with like other people in there. Most people like going at coffee or whatever in the morning as well. And then I have lunch at like 11 to 12, and then other people have lunch at 12 to 1. So I miss like both of those hours of being people in the office, and then I go home at 2. Um, so I really only had like 3 hours, like max, with other people around me, which is like actually fire. Um, uh, but nowadays that's like I'm a little bit more, well, I'm not quite a lot more involved in the the team's work. I did more like individual work when I started out. Like I had my own projects, like developing models, um, like from scratch, which was more of a me thing. And then I got to use those models for some of the um, later work, but uh, yeah, now I'm a lot more involved in with like other people. So any earlier than seven's like maybe a little bit troll, but hey, getting an early is nice. Oh, but yeah, so I actually have a real job. I am employed. I'm not lying. um, uh, in terms of RuneScape, um, I thought I would only be able to deny my zone in the office, which is why I left so much melee XP during Slayer. So I have like 100 more melee XP left because that's what I needed for zone. Um, Usually I'm able to get away with redwoods, pretty easily, especially now that it's like after the forestry changes, it's consistent 5 minutes. Um, I probably get like 2 to 300K a day, so like 4 to 5 hours ish, usually of the 8. Um, which is like not bad. Like I'm not that distracted by it. I click it once every 5 minutes, sometimes every 10 or 15 minutes. I don't think I'm like engaged with my phone any more than most other people. A lot of people spend a lot of time texting or fucking shopping and shit like that, so I'm probably engaged with my phone less than most other people. Um, so yeah, and then at home I just like fish. Um, yeah, like the 2 days a week that I'm working from home. Because that's like a little bit less AFK, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's distracting enough such that it actually gives you a break from the work. Like I never have to take a mental break like between work because like I just already get it from like fishing and like herb runs every now and then. Um, so it's like it's not like I'm like I don't know, I feel like I'm not like trolling work that much by doing it. Um, I'm still really productive. My manager has been really happy with my work output and shit. Um, so I think that's fine. I can't type. Fuck my results out. Um, what was I saying? Um, so yeah, that's work. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy my work. Uh, I think it gives me enough freedom to play RuneScape. Like I'm not, um, I don't know, locked out of playing RuneScape from work. I think a lot of that's because like I'm at a very junior position. I'm in only like an analyst level, um, and I'm still like studying, so like I'm not like required as much, and I don't really manage anything or any. Well, yeah, I don't manage anyone or um. So like maybe in like 2 years' time, it'll be more involved in terms of like time outside of the normal work hours. I do work like overtime, um, every now and then. Um, Like if something needs to be done, I'm always happy to do it. But the expectation isn't there that I work 70 hours a week. Every time I've offered to work on the weekend, my boss is like, no, you're not doing that. Um, I think he's trying to establish, the better work boundaries or whatever. Like if something doesn't need to be done on the weekend, then it shouldn't be done on the weekend. But I'm more than happy to do something on the weekend if it needed to be done. But um, I think they're more focused on me uh, completing my study, I think, at the moment, because with actuarial, I guess science, you do the degree, and then you have, so there's like, you don't actually have to do a degree, but there's three parts to the exams. There's part one, two, and three. Part ones you all study during uni. That's like easy shit, like basics of economics, of finance, of statistics, etc., etc. And so the uni subjects you study grant you exemptions for the um, institute subjects. And then part two's, I think you do a few during third year uni, like two or something, and then you have to study some outside of uni. So the part twos you actually study at a uni, but not during a degree. And I am currently studying my final part twos at the moment. Oh yeah, well, actually, so you study three through the uni, two through the institute, and then after part three exams, we get to pick like three subjects of like a whole, like I don't know, there's like 10 or something. You can pick whatever special area you want, and they're very hard. Historically, the pass rates were like 10 to 20%. Before like 5 years ago. So very, very hard. Nowadays, they've been made easier. I think the teaching has improved and the accessible material has improved. Like previously, they assumed knowledge that they didn't even teach. So they've kind of like fixed that, and the pass rates are more reasonable, like 40 or to 60%, depending on like some of the subjects are a lot harder. But so I'm hoping I can pass all those first go. I'll be starting my first one, provided I pass the two subjects I'm studying at the moment next semester. But yeah, so basically for those I get, I can take study leave. So I usually just take like 1 day a week, like in semesters like 12 weeks long. I'll probably take like 8 or 10 days total, and then maybe a couple extra during the like for the exam and the day before or something. So I get some time off from the work week to do that. But I also, typically spend quite a bit of time on the weekend, reading textbooks, watching lectures, yada yada. It's pretty fucking boring. I don't like it, but I have to do it. I'm hoping the part threes are a lot more interesting than the part twos, but they will also be a lot harder. I think the estimated study time per week for a part two is like 10 hours a week. I probably do, around about that, including the assignment, which is like 20 hours. The part threes are 20 hours a week each, so you can only really study one at a time. You can probably do two, maybe, but I don't know if anyone would ever do that, especially while working full time. So that'll be difficult, probably. But I'm hoping I enjoy it a lot more than the part twos. Because currently, like, the study is just tick a box. Like, I don't really care for it. I enjoy work a lot more. I feel like I learn a lot more at work. Yeah. That's everything IRL, I think. That's work, exercise, study, and other hobbies, I guess, I've mentioned. Don't have many. How long are we in? Hour 45. Alright, I think I'll do a daily routine. I think maybe I've like covered it a little bit before. But so basically I wake up, um well, daylight saving has changed, so I'll probably shift everything by like an hour, which is really annoying. They have to remove daylight savings, by the way. That shit is retarded. Like we don't need it anymore. Um but I was waking up between 5 and 6, so probably now 4 and 5. I'll probably go for like 4:30 to 5 ish. Um I either go for a walk immediately or stretch or uh I feel like there's or I used to during winter I would do a bike ride on the stationary bike for like 20 minutes because it was too cold to go outside. Um Recently like I would always go for a walk like every morning for like a year and a half or some shit. Or maybe even like 2.5 years. I don't know, for a while. Like I think it's important to get outside in the morning. Like drink a lot of water, go out, get outside. Ideally with sunlight, but usually I wake up before the sunlight at the moment. Um, but like I don't know, I haven't really been liking getting up before the sun, or like at the moment. Like last year I loved it because I'd like do a lap around the park, which is like 15 minutes, and then like watch the stars for like a little bit sometimes. But now I prefer to kind of have the sunlight. Uh, but at the same time, I also like waking up early enough to get to work early. I think daylight saving should help with that because like the time is shifted, I don't know, forwards maybe or something. So daylight starts earlier, which is good for me. But there's only like 11 or 12 hours of daylight or something now at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, basically, yeah, go for a walk. Yeah, recently I've either been, if I don't want to go for a walk, just stretch for like 10 minutes or something, or wait a little bit and go for a walk. Like an hour and a half later, like when the sun gets up, or the sun comes up. Um, but yeah, actually, first thing I do, so I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I run my hands under hot water, like at 2 minutes, and then I drink water. Um, I think these are important. For a RuneScape player, one, your hands are pretty important, and running under warm water is like so good for blood flow, and it feels so good, and it's like, oh my god. If you don't do that already, you should. That shit is OP as fuck. It feels, it feels so nice, man. Um, and then obviously drinking water is like really important in the morning, and getting a little bit of exercise. Um, yeah, then whatever, have breakfast, either go to work or whatever. Um, oh, and in terms of RuneScape, I wake up and I do day out because I do day out at the end of the night. So I'm already a day out. I just log in and do day out. Um, on the phone, that's what, like 30 hours, 30 minutes in the morning of like walk, eat, yada yada, and then if I get dressed and then go to work, then I do day out on the bus and shit and on the way. It's like on a work day, I might have 1.5 to 2 hours of day out in the morning. If I'm at home, it might just be like 30 minutes or something. Yeah, then either redwood if I'm in the office or fishing at home. Yada yada, come home, play RuneScape. Um, at night, then after I am done, I log out, go to day out, and do day out during my night routine. My night routine is if I haven't had a shower and I need a shower, I shower, but typically I shower um, after I lift, like in the mid-afternoon or whatever, if I'm at home, or I guess on the day before the days I go to work, it's usually at night. Um, yeah, shower and then again always wash my hands under warm water before I go to bed. because one, really good for like blood flow and shit in your hands, feels really nice, and as an added benefit, before you go to bed, it actually helps you fall asleep, because um, your cold body temperature needs to decrease for you to sleep by like a degree or something, and the hands and feet have the blood vessels closest to the skin, and so if you heat them up, it like expands the blood vessels, and heat leaves your body easier, from warmer hands because of that, which is I guess an added benefit, and like it's the reasoning why I guess a warm shower slash bath makes you fall asleep easier, because not because you're warm and comfortable, but because the heat leaves your body easier, for you to fall asleep. So that's, I guess, an added benefit. And then yeah, I'm already a day old because of that, which is good for the morning. Um, you don't need to add anything else. I think that's like pretty similarly my day. Yep. If I lift, it's usually around 1 to 2 p.m. So I have lunch, and then I do a herb run, have lunch, and then do a herb run, and then lift. So I give myself like, 80 or like 70 minutes or whatever it is, between eating and lifting. Yeah, I said if I run, it's usually sunset, sunrise. I think that's most of the things about my routine. I think having a routine is underrated for RuneScape. I know there are some people who are like, hey, I'm gonna get X amount of EHP today, and then I'll sleep. So if it's like, I don't know, if you didn't have the chance to play, you stay up late, and then you sleep in tomorrow, or whatever, you just sleep less, and I think that's really retarded. My philosophy when it comes to RuneScape is play as much as you can, sustainably, long term. And sustainably long term is like years, because obviously this game takes like so long. And so for me, that long-term sustainability, with all my IRL obligations, is about 80 hours a week of efficient XP. Obviously I'm only at the PC for like 50 of those, or maybe even less. I just zero time so much. Yeah, because I did I did a 4K year in my last year of uni. That's like 500 PVM, and then I did like 4.15, like 4150 last year in my first year of work, which was a lot more than I expected, to be honest. But I did get like quite a bit of over. Like that's like net of banked, by the way. It's like including like so herb law isn't like 10 to 1. But I did get like a little bit over in terms of like crafting at SEP. But I don't know, that's just my fault for having Zarkelman a lot of fucking money, I guess, and being willing to do that much like APM at SEP. So that probably saved me like 1 to 200 hours. But yeah, still was playing like 80 hours a week then. I imagine it'll probably slow down a little bit this year just because I'm a little bit more involved in work. Study's a little bit more demanding. I'm spending a little bit more time exercising. And my zero time methods will become less efficient just because I finished the better ones. So once I finish day ult, I'll move on to bone mining, which is slightly worse. And then once I finish fishing, I'll move on to also bone mining, which is a little bit worse than barb fishing, and I'll be doing probably more redwoods and eventually nightmare zone, which are obviously like worse zero time, so like getting less time from that. But I think the first 3 months I got, I think like nine. I calculated my banked EHP as at the 1st of April, and like the EHP I did in the first 3 months, and I think it was over 900. I think it was like 970 or something. So pacing for like 3.6 or 3.7, 3.8K ish, or something like that. But that also was including a really busy March, so I probably won't have another one of those this year. Or maybe, I don't know. So yeah, pace is doing alright this year. I have about, net of like banked shit, I have about 3,850 hours to go. 33,850. So about a year. About 300 EHP of that is melees, which I know technically could be 0 time. So then it's something like 3,500 hours, but I'm not going to do Sleep Zone because that's gay and kind of cheating. But maybe I could start fitting Nightmare Zone into some places where I wouldn't otherwise be able to, or just like replacing Redwoods with it and being able to get more overall, because like it's 20-minute FK versus like 5. But yeah, so without sailing, yeah, expecting to finish about between mid-Feb and end of April, or beginning of April-ish. But I mean, I really don't know if I'll be able to maintain this current pace exactly, and maybe I'll finish end of April, or I don't know, something like that. But then, yeah, with sailing, I expect that to be plus like 800 hours. If it's like 250k now, so that'll be like 3 months, or like 2.5 months, so finish around like June, July. Which is still good, because if I pass all my subjects first try for study, I'll be done. October is the last exam, so November I'd get the results, so I'd still be like a couple months before that. I'd be finished before my last subject, which would be the really, really hard one, which would be nice. Oh, I'm starting to get really tired, and my throat is a bit sore from talking so much. Is it 2 hours almost? So yeah, that's the kind of IRL situation, I guess. No fake job. I am employed. I am in studying. And then I just spend 0 time outside of that. All my socializing is done at work and on RuneScape, I guess. Yeah, I've never been like too interested in like activities outside of work or school or whatever, like uni. I've always just kind of done my own thing. I don't know. Like I'm still pretty young, so I have like a lot of time. But yeah, I'm 22. I know after I finish 200 lol, or as it's like winding down, I'll probably, I don't know, try and find a wife or something like that. That would probably be a good idea. But hey, fucking who knows? Maybe I'll just run it back instead. That's probably probably more fun anyway. But yeah. Yeah, all that being said, yeah, I don't know, maybe people don't believe me, but I am in fact very, very normal. There's nothing wrong with me. I just really, really like RuneScape, and that's about it, I think. Recently there have been some autism allegations. I cannot confirm nor deny those, as I don't know. I think my perspective is I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know, at least at the moment it doesn't like impact me enough that I'm like depressed or anything. Like I'm probably as mentally healthy as I've ever been. But hey, maybe I'll... I don't know, like it's hard to tell when like people are like joking or being serious. Like I did ask some people seriously, and some people said yes, some people said no, they don't think I am, but obviously, haha, RuneScape is autism or yada yada. I don't know. I've considered many times, including as a child, um, speaking to a psychiatrist, and I probably can at the moment, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Just 'cause I like RuneScape doesn't make me okay, retarded is not the right word, but uh my my belief has always just been I'm retarded and I like RuneScape. And those two things just coexist. But anyway, regardless, I don't think it matters that much. So I will move on. Um, I am tired as shit, bro. I've been up like 18 hours or something doing mining. How much XP have I gained actually? I lived with like 2 hours and I had some family dinner shit on. 1.6 more mining. So I've been using Stardust all day, so that's like, I don't know, 11 and a half hours of mining, but I've done like 12 herb runs or something, so that's like an hour. I haven't been trolling today, I don't think. That's good. Alright, let's look at my list of topics which I got one into. I guess I talked about mining, I guess. I did the 6 hour. I guess I already talked about that. Records and comps. Yeah. I don't know, bro, I'm tired as fuck. Um, the other topics from the previous ramble that I'd missed were spreadsheets, micro versus macro, and then long-term plan, how I will go about finishing boss goals after. I think I sort of covered long-term plan, but maybe not, like more the finishing and shit. I do want to talk about micro versus macro because I think that's really interesting, um, especially for skilling. But I'm tired as fuck, and this is probably already long enough. Um, so I'll probably end it here. Um, thank you all for watching. Hope everybody has a good day and shit. Hope the mining gameplay was up to par. And again, shout the fuck out Big Math, my goat. Um, oh yeah, I think one thing I didn't mention in the previous round was I joined Solus. I don't know if I did mention, but I did do that. And to be honest, I mean it's like cool. There's a lot of people that I know and like, but like I feel like I'm not that involved with the clan. But um, I type in Solus only a little bit, and I had the clan chat on for the first 2 weeks or something in game, but I don't know. Usually uh, I don't know. I have my little ook club that I spend most of my time talking to, and I don't know. Outside of that is I don't know. Not harder, but I don't know. I just don't do it as much, I guess. Maybe it is harder, but I just don't care for as much, I guess. Um, which is basically what I was like in Olympus. You know, I was in the clan but didn't really do much. I mean, I'm probably more involved in Souls than I was in Olympus, but at least in this clan, people actually play the game. But um, I guess I'm really only here because Darts and Wukek asked me nicely enough. Um, so yeah, I guess it's nice, like being a part of a community, even if I'm not like super active and talk to everybody, but yeah, it's whatever. Um, like everybody I talked to in Solace, I like already talked to in the Ook Club. The Ook Club. Oh my god. But yeah. Uh, bro, I'm fading out, bro. Holy fuck. Um, anything else I want to say? Um, yeah, I think the once a month ramble is kind of good. So like, kind of gives me enough time to like make enough progress in the game to have something to talk about in terms of like updated current and future plans. Um, and it also means that I don't just run out of topics like instantly. Um, so yeah, maybe I'll wait another month, but I guess technically the other Ramble 3 was like a week or something ago, but yeah, that one's not gonna see the light of day. I don't, well, publicly at least. Um, these just keep getting longer and longer, bro. Holy fuck. Maybe it is worth just doing them more often, but it's hard to find the time to do it because it's like, I think I mentioned previously in the last one, but it's like the conditions have to be right. It's like you have to feel like doing it and nothing else has to be going on. It's like today I woke up, I streamed in the morning, I voice chatted after that, and then everybody else went to bed and I'd already streamed, so I didn't stream it in the night. So I was like able to have time to do this. But yeah, well, once a month is fine. Oh, I mean, obviously, because I keep fucking talking for so long. If I just did like shorter ones, it would be like, um, that could be way more often. But yeah, it's whatever. Um, a lot of people like the long ones, I think, and I do as well. Like, I listen to my own ramble back. I think it's not. I mean, it's nice to like it just doubles the content I get from it because I get like what 2 hours from typing IRL with my mouth, and like 2 hours of listening back. Um, Sometimes I even listen to it twice if I need to remember what I said and shit. But but yeah. Um, yeah, we just keep mining, keep playing the game. RuneScape is really fun, and yeah, I think I guess one thing maybe to take from this is like uh I mean maybe this is more on like the micro versus macro shit or whatever, but like in terms of IRL and like schedule and routine and RuneScape, I think it's like the way I found is I said before is like play as much as you can long term, just because like I mean I mean there's the whole like pause like speech or whatever about people are useless if they burn out, but like it's true, and it's like if you force yourself to play and then you become disinterested and burn out or whatever, then or just even if you just enjoy yourself less, it's like I don't know. I think it's easy to focus on the short term more than the long term, just because I mean it just is, right? Like the short term is like so immediate. It's like today, it's this week. That's the long term is, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, or for me it's like four and like in a couple months, 4 years, a couple months. So um yeah, like so what if you do 10 HP today instead of 12? Like I think focusing on keeping yourself healthy enough and happy enough and mentally well enough and enjoying the game enough to be able to do it long term is the most important thing. Because like I don't know, if you just like crash out for a day, that's like so much you miss out on. But like if you just like obviously everybody says it, consistency is the most important thing, but yeah, if you are trying to skill efficiently and gain as much HP as possible and potentially go for 200 lower, then yeah, I think really don't feel bad about uh, not absolutely making 100% use of your time. It's like, oh, I could be free chicken Garen for 5 extra minutes a day or something, or I could like play with better micro and get an extra like 20 minutes a day. Like, I don't know. Those numbers, like, if you're playing enough, they just mean nothing. It's like if you're getting 12 EHP a day and you go to 12 and a half, like in terms of like weeks saved, that's like so little. Like, you'll do what, 12,000 hours in like 1,000 days versus like uh 960, I think, or something like that. Um, which is just like I don't know, all that effort and all that much work just to save like a month. Like, I think obviously play as much as you can, but only as much as you can consistently. Um, it's never worth like sacrificing sleep, health, etc. just to play extra. Um, that's my little ramble. Um, so I think that's it from me. I'll probably expand on that a little bit more next time. But yeah, have a good night. Shout out Big Math the third time. I didn't forget. And peace.